Hello everyone, this is a sample video for you to have an idea on how to analyze elision and assimilation. Yeah, this is a piece of text that was taken from English Transcription Course, exercise 7.4 on page 60. Let me show you the text. As you can see, is exercise 7.4 and it's on page 60. Okay, it goes from the beginning up to rounded. Yeah, up to that part it goes the analysis. So let's start with, first of all, take into account that I've marked elision and correspondingly syllabicity in red. Yes, here, like here, and assimilation in orange. Yeah, I'm so sorry for my not so tidy transcription, but I didn't want to redo it as many times as needed until I have no spelling or transcription mistakes. So I just corrected some parts and did my best. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's go. Let's start. First of all, we have an example of elision in here. Elision of what? Elision of a consonant sound. The final voiceless alveolar plosive sound at the end of this word. Let me show you this one. Yeah, and it has been elided. Why? Because it's in final position in a syllable that is unstressed, and as it is followed by the same sound. Yeah, there's no point in pronouncing two equal sounds together. Yes, apart from that, the two final sounds, this voiceless alveolar fricative, yes, which was preceded, followed by the voiceless alveolar plosive, are both voiceless sound, as I said, so it was redundant to have the final alveolar plosive sound. That's why it has been elided. Then we can see in these two words, yeah, let me show you the words. These two sounds have been assimilated. Why? Because in this, first of all, as it is an auxiliary verb, yeah, the glottal sound that was at the beginning has been slided as well, yeah, because it's in unstressed syllable, yes. And after that, the final voiced alveolar plosive sound has been assimilated into the voiced bilabial sound because it's under the influence of this later sound that I mentioned. After that, on the same two consecutive words, yeah, we have the voiced alveolar nasal sound, which has been assimilated into the voiced bilabial nasal, yes, under the influence of the voiced bilabial plosive. Yeah, remember that everything is part of having into account the place and manner of articulation are crucial for analyzing these kinds of processes of assimilation. Then, in this word, in wasn't, yeah, there have been one process, which is assimilation, yeah, and the consecutive process of syllabicity, because originally this word have a schwa, yeah, placed between these two consonants, so that's why, as it is in unstressed syllable, it has been eliminated. So that's why the nasal voiced alveolar nasal sound becomes syllabic. Why is it that becomes syllabic? Because that syllable, yeah, you know that this word is made up of two syllables, wasn't. Yeah, this syllable, the second syllable is unstressed. So as it is unstressed, we elide the schwa, but the syllable must have some kind of prominence, yeah, which was originally given by the vowel, but as the vowel has been eliminated, the nasal sound, yeah, becomes syllabic because it takes all of the properties that was given by the vowel. Yeah, when we eliminate the vowel, we give that properties, yes, of the property of prominence, which is necessary for having an accented or stressed syllable. Yes, that those properties have been given to the nasal sound. That's why it becomes syllabic. Apart from that, as you can see, there's missing the final voiceless alveolar plosive, which is part of this negative contraction. So there have been two processes in here. Then we have in these two words, we have another process of assimilation in which, sorry, in which these two sounds, yes, have been assimilated. The final voiced alveolar nasal, the final voiced alveolar nasal have been assimilated into the voiced velar nasal because it's under the influence of another voiced sound. And in this case, it doesn't matter that the the voiceless velar plosive sound is a voiceless sound because what is being shared here is the place of articulation, which is in the velum. That's why it's assimilated. Then, for example, here in parents, I have not elided this sound because I saw in the dictionary that it wasn't elided. It wasn't given the possibility to elide this sound, but I still want to know that if it can be elided, it will be because whenever we have the opportunity of removing some sounds that will help us um, speak in a more fluent and quicker way, we will have to take that advantage and remove those sounds that don't make any change on the pronunciation. That's why I kept the schwa instead of eliding it, for you to see that even though the dictionary, the citation form doesn't show that it is possible, you can still do it. Yeah, it happens with plenty of other words. Yeah, and some of them I will show you here in this sample text. Then we have another example of assimilation. In this case, the final voiced alveolar velar. Let me show you. Voiced, where it is? I one could remember describing it. Okay, I'm not finding it. Okay, the final sound. I'm so sorry. There's something going on with my computer. I will try to explain this later. So we have another example of assimilation in here, in which I have assimilated the final voiced alveolar fricative sound into a bilabial, yes, voiced under the influence of the voiceless voiceless bilabial plosive sound. Yes, I hope I'm not making a huge mess in your heads right now or whenever you see this video. I truly hope you understand this. I'm not very accustomed of explaining this on a video. I usually do it on um, personally looking at you in class, so this is kind of odd to me. Okay, then we have here another example of elision and of course syllabicity. You will see that all of these um, examples repeat in all of these words because I have only taken into account these two process of devices of simplification. Yes, these two allophones are considered devices of simplification because, as the title says, it helps us simplify a text for our reading, yeah, and our speech to be more comfortable when pronouncing it. So in this I have highlighted the vowel number 12, the schwa, and that's why as here in the nasal sound, this approximant becomes syllabic because, as I said, it's an unstressed syllable, so there must be some prominence for those sounds to keep on being part of that syllable. That's why it shares all of the characteristics that was taken from the schwa. It was given to the approximant sound. Yeah. Here in this word grandparents, we have assimilated. First of all, there has been elision, grandparents. Yeah, the voiced alveolar plosive sound that was here in the middle. Yes, as you remember, the two most common consonant sounds that can be elided are the voiced and voiceless alveolar plosive. So the voiced alveolar plosive have been as elided, yeah, and with the nasal alveolar sound that was kept from that syllable, it has been assimilated into a bilabial nasal because it's under the influence of another bilabial. That's why. And then, as the same as parents, yeah, because it's more or less the same word but with another part attached, yes. The nasal sound has become syllabic, yes, because again there was a vowel sound that has been removed in here, as well as the voiceless alveolar plosive as well has been removed or elided or dropped. You can also say it has been dropped. And what else? Yeah, and the point was that as in parents, yeah, I didn't do it in here, but I do it here to show you that either ways of eliding those sounds or not are possible. Yeah, it's up to you, but mostly it's up to how the speaker, whose text you're analyzing, does it or not, or pronounce those sounds or not. So as I told you, we have three, as in parents, we have three alveolar sounds together. So the voiceless one, yeah, it has been removed here we have another example of assimilation as happened exactly here, yeah, or here, yeah, it's the same example. Another example of elision and its correspondent syllabic consonants. Then here we have the same process again. Alveolar nasal has become velar because it is next to a velar sound, and we have I have removed the voiceless, the schwa here, vowel number 12, because it's in an unstressed syllable again. So you can see here the lateral alveolar sound, which can also be syllabic. Yeah, we have 4 or 5 consonant sound that can be syllabic. One is the lateral, yes, 5 sounds, sorry. The other one is the approximant sound, the nasal, yeah, alveolar and bilabial nasal can also be syllabic, as well as the velar nasal. So we have 3 consonant sounds that can be syllabic: the alveolar nasal, the bilabial nasal, and the velar nasal, the 3 nasal sounds, the alveolar lateral, and the approximate, yeah, palatal-alveolar approximant sound. Those are the 5 consonant sounds that can become syllabic. What else? Yeah, okay, those are all of examples of the same kind. Here, ankle, sorry, is the same process as in here. There, for example, have the same case as with the schwa. It hasn't been removed. Yeah, why? But this has a reason. Not like this. I showed you this because of the example of what I said to you about the dictionary. But this has a reason that we have 1, 2, and 3 vowel sounds together. If I remove this voiced alveolar plosive sound, there will be 2 open syllables together, and that's not possible. We need to have some kind of consonantal connection between these 2 syllables, and that's why this alveolar sound is kept. Okay, very good. What else? Then I have assimilated the voiceless alveolar plosive sound into the voiceless velar sound, voiceless velar plosive, because it's followed by the same sound. Okay. Yeah, more and more example of the same. The same in here. Yeah, we have a voiceless alveolar plosive, which was assimilated into the voiceless bilabial plosive because it's under the influence of another bilabial. Yeah, and the same happens on the end of this word and the beginning of the following word. So this is more or less how you would analyze, yeah, the following text and that I will give you as examples. Remember that you have to do this in as a written practice of transcription, but as well try to do it always in orally. Yes, try to analyze aloud like I'm doing right now, so you can you can have enough practice, and you can start internalizing and learning by heart the different the full names, as I always tell you, the full names of the consonants and vowel sounds, which are compulsory for understanding all of the allophones, as I told you the very first time that I introduced allophones to you. So please always do this practice with the list of consonants and vowel sounds that I shared with you. Um, you you will see that it's easier if you analyze the text in this way, and through the course of time that I will include in more and more allophones, yeah, it will be easier for you, and until you get very used to explaining, and you feel comfortable when explaining. Once you have learned all of the consonants and vowel sounds perfectly, you will see that it's as easy as I told you, as I explained in this video. So I hope you find this um, this